Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to the dig. Let us continue. Where's the mouse? Here it is. So we've landed on an alien planet and I guess we need to go to the clearing. We've looked at everything we can see here. We landed right here on the platform. There seems to be an atmosphere because we're breathing. Unfortunately, unless we can eat these plants, I don't think we have any food or water. So that's an issue. Plus, no aliens around, so.
Where are you going, Lo?
I was gonna check for water. Or some way out of here.
I think we should remain together.
Fine. Follow me.
This is no longer a space expedition, Lo. This is an archaeological dig. Therefore, I am the obvious leader.
Really?
Fine. Whenever we need to dig something up, you can use the shovel. In the meantime, our first business is to survive. Our second task is to get home. We need to work together, and I'm still the commander of this mission.
You don't know any more about surviving on an alien world than I do.
Boston is right, Ludger. He's the one with experience in survival, and we need someone in command. This is no time for a foolish power struggle.
I agree.
All right, I agree. For now.
Interesting that we all of a sudden, they seemed like they were perfectly cool with what was going on for a second ago in the last conversation, and as soon as the story needed it, all of a sudden we have a power struggle going on. There are some weird twists here. So we've got question mark number 1, we've got question mark number 2, and question mark number 3. We've got some seemingly obviously carved mountain walls. Let's just go to question mark number 1, I suppose. This is being called the dais. I don't know what dais means. Interesting.
Fantastic! Look!
More proof of alien life.
Do you think there's anyone or anything alive?
It seems someone had to have been here.
Let's hope they're peaceful. Or gone.
So, wreckages of a building or a spaceship. What it might be, though, is that this is the remains of some other alien species that was brought here just like us. So these may not be the aliens that built the ship that brought us here, or able to help us at all. They may have just gotten trapped here themselves and wrecked on the planet. We see an engine here, we see an engine here, we see a wreck.
This alien technology is hopelessly run.
Well, with no understanding of alien technology, you're not certain of that. For all you know, there's like nano machines crawling on the ship just waiting for the signal to rebuild everything. I mean, you have no knowledge, you can't just assume things. Alright, inside the wreckage.
Can you tell anything about what these people look like from the interior of their ship?
They're probably
All
tall.
this rust. Corrosion. Perhaps animals have moved things around. Hard to know what we're looking at. Let me look. Try not to disturb anything.
We have a hanging wire. We have the outside. See, you would assume they're taller than humans because of the height of the ceiling, but it could also be that they just don't like enclosed spaces. Or want to carry lots of cargo. What's this hanging wire do?
We might need this wire later. I'm gonna see if I can pull it down.
First, shouldn't you turn the power off at the breaker box?
What?
That was a joke, Lo.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Stand back in case something comes down on our heads.
Some kind of energy creature.
Look at it. It's beautiful.
Interesting.
Changing shapes, mathematical progressions of ever more complex polyhedrons.
Next time I suggest pulling a wire.
No, I'm glad you did. What could that have been?
Not a random electrical discharge.
Maybe it's a kind of computer display. Maybe to the aliens who piloted this ship it conveyed some meaningful information. But to me, it means absolutely nothing.
It seems like the ship that brought us here was also into geometry.
It still might be useful.
So we'll keep the wire. And then let's pick up this engraved rod.
Did any of you see? Was this here before that thing appeared?
Of course it was. Do you think an electrical field can carry a solid object?
Sure it can. Why wouldn't it be able to? All solid objects are moved by electrical fields. In fact, electrical fields are the things that make things appear solid. Here's a chest.
Well, I don't see any treasure, but there is something in here.
Let's grab this device.
When we get back, the engineers are going to have a field day trying to figure out how this worked.
So, anything else in the chest?
It's closed.
Nope, just open and close the chest all you want. We hear this screeching every now and then. Let's examine some stuff.
This wire isn't metal. A transparent fiber cable. Silicone,
Interesting.
probably. I'm betting it carried data.
Fiber optics. Although, do you still call it fiber optics if it isn't in the visual spectrum? Or do you just call it fiber cable at that point? That's
It's
an
a
interesting
rod.
thought.
Engraved. 5 geometric shapes.
So this feels like some kind of communications tool.
Some kind of device. I have no clue what it might be for.
And see, the right move would be to take something like this and then hand it to the archaeologist and say, give me some
I can't
information.
determine what it's made from.
Or take something like this and have it
It's indicating to the right.
to the right. Interesting. It's like a compass.
It's indicating to the right.
Well, I can't walk much more right this direction, so I think we're gonna have to go outside. So we've got some more stuff to mess with. Is there anything else on this screen? I don't feel like it is. Let's see. If we use the device now.
It's indicating to the left of me.
To the left of him.
It's indicating to the left of me.
Interesting. That's as far as left as we can go.
It's indicating to the left of me.
I can't help but feel like I'm in the totally wrong area. But it almost certainly is pointing to something. Of course, it could be pointing the other direction. Just because you have a triangle that's elongated in one point doesn't mean they actually want you to go in that direction. It might be something the exact opposite of that.
It's indicating approximately that direction.
Approximately that direction? Where are you walking to?
Do you think we could climb this slope?
No use. It doesn't go up all the way to the top.
The engravings on this wall, are they writing or decoration?
You're asking us?
What do we have that we can click on? It's kind of strange to have 3 characters this far into the game still, and us staying together. I guess it's good though. It's a standard like movie way of thinking, where video games you're always the lone guy. You're by yourself basically, or your teammates are useless and just listen to what you say, and they don't communicate or actually add anything to the tale. Whereas in movies you want a lead actor and some supporting actors, and that's what we're getting. Not surprising since this game was made, or at least in partly made,
Robbins.
by Steven Spielberg.
Do you think it was trying to get one of us hurt?
I don't know, but apparition seems like a good word for it.
So they're calling it apparitions. Let's ask about
Maggie,
Brink.
does Brink look okay to you?
So far, he looks fine.
I'm okay, Commander. Thanks for your concern.
See, we just
We
had
all
this
have to watch out for each other.
power struggle stuff, and it's like,
Thanks.
let's go back to the clearing. Doesn't look like we can do anything there yet. So we have a dirt ramp, we have a wreck. What do we have here?
Not just plants, but creatures too. I'm not an archaeologist, but these look like bones to me.
Interesting.
But they are not lying where the animal died. They were placed here. Markers.
A grave?
Best guess.
And now a home for those rat-like things.
Well, those rat-like things could be dinner. Let's start with this.
It's indicating to the left of me.
To the left of him. Let's shovel the grave. I wouldn't get near the rats. They might bite you and or attack you or something.
What? Are you just going to dig right in? With a shovel? You will destroy the site.
I'm not doing archaeology right now, Brink. I'm looking for something to help get us home.
Your name will live forever. As the bone-headed space hero who destroyed precious data at the first alien archaeological site.
That's better than having my name live forever. As a commander of an expedition that disappeared and was never heard from again. Now get out of the way if you aren't going to help, Brink. This might take a while.
It's really strange here that you can still ask how he feels and be on good terms in one conversation, and then in the real story that's happening you can have this conflict.
What a fine accomplishment, Commander. Now we have a pile of meaningless dirt and bones.
Maybe not. You never know when an alien bone will prove useful.
So let's grab some tusks.
This is light, but it feels as strong as steel.
And grab a jawbone.
What do you think? Was this the skull of a sentient being? Or a pet? Or a beast of burden?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's dead.
It's a strange shaped jawbone. The teeth still look strong.
And we're gonna make some kind of tool out of this, I assume. I don't think there's anything else I can do on this
Whatever
screen.
creature these bones used to be, I don't think we've got anything like it on Earth.
Let's see, is there anything else in this area? No, it doesn't look like it. Do we still have the shovel? Yes. So we could go to the dais, which is, I assume, where we started. Let's double check that. And
I think we can safely say this is not a natural weather phenomenon.
How about a mirage? Anyone voting for it being a mirage?
It knew we were here. It was trying to tell us something. Or show us something.
Don't be too quick to anthropomorphize.
How do we know what life looks like here?
It might be alive. Or it might be some kind of automatic guidance system. We triggered it in that ruined ship and now it's
big old
leading
wall
us.
of text
You
here.
mean this is the last gasp of a holographic tour guide?
Or the Port Authority. Maybe it's telling us we're under arrest. Come quietly or self-aiming lasers will toast us to cinders in 15 seconds.
Stop it. Maybe you can think that's funny, but the last thing I need is some mischievous boy trying to give me the creeps.
If I wanted to give you the creeps, I'd tell you that it was the ghost of a long-dead alien.
How do you know it isn't a ghost?
What? You think this is where aliens end up when they die? If it is, then this place better be hell, because it sure isn't my idea of heaven.
Now you're starting to give me the creeps.
So we have the small hole. I assume we're gonna shovel the small hole.
I'm gonna see if I can enlarge the hole. Maybe there's something under here.
I kind of
Yeah,
wish this
maybe
guy was
something
more like
lives down in
Indiana
that hole.
Jones and his
The
quote-unquote
utterances of experts.
archaeology. This guy really wants to preserve the site like a real archaeologist, where for a video game we need it to be more
The
willing
ground
to
is soft
destroy
here.
things.
Loose. I think this used to be an opening, and over the years, wind has filled it up with sand and dirt.
Here, let me see. Yes, that's right. You're probably right.
That means the ground is treacherous. It could be hollow under there.
Commander, I think it's time for an archaeologist to do the digging. I'm used to dealing with drifted soil.
The shovel is yours, Brink. Just be careful. The ground's pretty unstable. My feet kept sinking.
My whole training is to be careful. Not to charge in with guns blazing. Finally, a good use for my extensive training.
I have this feeling he's just gonna fall down immediately. Or break something. Do even a worse job than me.
No, it's completely.
No! Brink! I couldn't get to him in time. I couldn't.
It happened too fast. How long a drop is it?
Looks like the rubble has formed a ramp. Follow me. Here he is. He's not moving.
Brink! Boston. He's dead.
I should have been the one digging.
Then you'd be the dead one.
It was my responsibility to.
Brink and I are not children or trained monkeys. We're responsible adults. It could have been any of us, and there's not a thing you could have done to prevent it.
But to lose Brink, and we've only been up here.
Look, you can't keep me safe, and I can't keep you safe. So there's no particular reason for us to stay together. Our odds of getting back to Earth are better if we work separately on figuring this place out.
I don't like the idea of splitting up.
Why? Because we're safer together? Ask Brink about that.
Because maybe I won't know what I'm seeing without you to help me understand it.
If you find something interesting, the communicators still work. Till then, adios, ciao, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen.
Maggie, it's against every rule of military action for an officer to be separated from his command.
Boston, this isn't a military action. And you don't have a command. There's just you and me. And we both know exactly the same amount about this situation, which is to say, nada, nothing, zip. If we suddenly find ourselves facing an army, then you're in command again. Until then, adios, ciao, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen.
Really gonna do the same?
Off like that.
Yeah, all my psychological tests as a kid said that I didn't work well with others.
So this is what failure feels like.
Sadly, there was something you could have done. Looking at your inventory, you have wire you could have tied around him. You have a tusk you could have stabbed into the ground, or at least put on the ground for flatter footing. You could have been holding on, preventing him from falling in. They didn't think about it in the game, but there's always something you could have thought of. Unfortunately, that's always a problem. There's always a new thought.
Hurt too. The plants seem to draw energy from my body and disperse it among all the plants. They must share a common root system.
Interesting, life-sucking or energy-sucking plants. So poor Brink is gone and we're separated finally. This kind of feels like this is the beginning of the game. It's just taken us this long to get to it.
You could be irritating sometimes, but you sure didn't deserve to die.
Yeah, it almost feels like there shouldn't have been any arguments at all, considering he's dead now. Why have the power play? Here's an alcove that needs some pieces, or maybe we just put it together like we did before.
Shallow indentations. Shallow indentations.
No, so we're gonna need all the pieces again. This place is called the Nexus, apparently. This looks like a door.
Doors, doors everywhere. I wonder which one is the pay toilet.
Ooh. We've got some buttons that change into different shapes. Interesting. Green, is green the beginning? Or did the color change? I think the color just changed. So let's just go through all these. Blue, yeah, the colors are different. So red, green, blue, and what feels like 5 different possible combinations. There's no chance of me brute forcing that. That's somewhere around 15 to the power of 4.
The door is shut tight.
Let's look at this column.
Somebody spent a long time engraving these smooth grooves on the surface of this column. I wish I knew what for.
Here's a purple engraved rod.
Another one of these engraved sticks. What are they? Wands? Batons? Bludgeons? Maybe some kind of handheld computer game. With my luck, it's a hand grenade.
Well, your luck is better than Brink's. We've got a lot of doors here. All of a sudden the game is going to really open up on us. I don't know if each one of these ends in a room or if a bunch of these we just don't open or what. Oh, it's a full circle situation too. Alright. This engraved rod with this rod.
They seem to serve the same function, but they don't seem to fit together.
So let's see if this with the panel works.
It won't do anything.
Let's see. Examine this.
It's a rod. Engraved. 5 geometric shapes.
This one. Let's see. So red square, blue circle, green square, blue triangle. So red square, blue circle, and green triangle. That is blue. And then we wanted blue triangle. Now I know this isn't right. I need to go back and check. Let's see.
It won't do anything.
Let's examine this. Red square, blue circle, green square, blue diamond. There we go. And we just need a green square now. That looks right. Red square, blue circle, green square, blue diamond.
It's pointing behind me.
Interesting. So trying the combination on everything doesn't seem like it's going to be worth the effort. Let's go down the tunnel with this flashlight. Long, well-produced transition scenes. This is a game from the age where video games were very, very light on the game aspects. It was easier to just show animations with a few puzzles around it. Certainly you have things that do that really well, and then you have some things that barely have any interaction at all. Interesting, and now we are in this crystalline, kind of snowy area, it seems like. Feels kind of snowy, even though there is no snow. I'm looking all over here. It doesn't seem like there's anything to click on. We have a button. Should I hit the button? I've already gotten one person killed. And then we have like what looks like an airlock door.
There is an airtight seal between these two rooms.
Interesting. What does this device do?
There's a signal here, but I'm not getting a clear reading. It doesn't point in any direction.
Let's hit the button. Let's go hit this button. So can I open the airlock door now?
There is an airtight seal between these two rooms.
So it almost feels like I would need the air suit back, because I can't open this door.
There is an airtight seal between these two rooms.
Oh, it opened. So I guess I had to hit the button twice.
This looks like a command center.
Interesting. And I do seem to desperately want to remain in command. This feels like I'm underwater. There's nothing really more to see out here.
There's an undersea tunnel leading into the base of a nearby island.
Interesting. We haven't really had a movie in the past few years that was quite like this. Even like a lot of fantasy, a lot of the weirdness has gotten like watered down in favor of things that I guess are slightly more relatable, and you wouldn't see good artistic things like this. And I guess I need to revise my statement to say there hasn't been a good movie that sold really well that's been this far out. There have been some far out sci-fi movies and they've flopped because in general movies are flops these days. People don't want to spend the money, the ticket prices are too high.
I see many undersea tunnels, all leading from the large central island to the smaller islands.
But I also do feel like nowadays all the aliens in alien movies are going to be mostly humanoid, or they're going to be downright monstrous to be scary, and then you're talking about a horror movie probably more than an actual science fiction or fantasy movie. Let's look at this glowing panel. Hitting buttons like crazy. Let's see, we've got 5 crystals which seem to connect to a crystal cluster. It seems like maybe this engraved rod would work with the hole.
That won't fit. That won't fit. That won't fit.
Interesting. So one would assume that this...
That won't fit. That won't fit. That won't fit.
So we're not going to find 3 engraved rods there. Maybe we put the tusk in the hole?
That won't fit. That won't fit. That won't fit.
So we're either looking for something that has 3 prolonged points, or 3 prongs, or something else, or 3 of something else. Let's touch the crystal that isn't lit up.
This crystal is lifeless.
Let's touch this crystal.
It's an energized crystal.
Energized.
It's an energized crystal. It's an energized crystal.
Hey, he said it differently.
It's an energized crystal. It's where all the crystals meet.
Yeah, and unless I'm supposed to put something like this device.
There's a signal here, but I'm not getting a clear reading. It doesn't point in any direction.
So strange. I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to start switching between the two characters, because I can't imagine right now being able to do anything else. One assumes I can just walk through the dark tunnel this time without seeing a transition screen. We figured it out once. We've got all these doors here. I guess I could walk out to the canyon. I'm surprised I can. Can I grab the spacesuit? I guess. I don't think walking in any direction is actually going to have me run into the girl, though. I think she's always going to be somewhere else until the game really wants them to be in some place. We've got all these panels and all these locks, and there's a different shape on each of the panel. And when we look at the purple rod, it's a circular purple thing. So if it does unlock any door, it would have to be a door with a circular panel on it, which I'm not seeing a circular one at all. So we're done with this episode and I'm left confused, but I feel like we're finally actually into the game, which is good news. About 2 hours into it and we are ready to go. Let's see, we'll type 4 instead of 2. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.